Hello, my beautiful intuitive water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Welcome to Intuitive Moon Tarot. I'm Jen. I'm going to be doing your general love reading today. Before we get started, I do have a few things to go over. If you can bear with me, I will keep this short and sweet. This is just a reminder, these are general readings, so there's no way for me to guarantee every general reading will resonate with every person that watches every time. Please just take what feels good to you in your soul, what's resonating with your story, and what you find helpful, and leave the rest for somebody else. We don't want to force these readings to fit our story if they're not fitting. So if the message isn't meant for you, that's okay. I do believe that these meetings between us are fated. I don't believe anything happens by chance. So if you felt drawn to me or my channel, chances are I already do or I will have a meaningful message that is meant specifically for you. My recommendation, if you feel inspired to do so, is always to subscribe to the channel and click the little bell notification. That way you will be notified every time there's new uploads on the channel. And whenever you feel drawn to or inspired by one of those uploads, follow that intuition and that inspiration and check that video out. There's tons of videos already uploaded to the channel, lots of pick a card, lots of element readings, twin flame soulmate readings, and none of them are time restricted. So, they're there for whoever needs them, whenever you need them or feel inspired to watch them. So, you could find a reading from 5 months ago that is helpful to you today. So, all that being said, this is going to be a you versus them soulmate reading. So soulmates don't have to be current partners. They can be exes, anybody that we've had an intense soulful connection to now or in the past. And we just kind of pull energy for both sides, see what's going on, and whatever messages, strongly need to come through for my Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio will come through. So we're just going to take what the universe gives us graciously and humbly. All of that being said, you have been so patient and I appreciate you. I hope you guys are having wonderful holidays for those of you that are watching this now. Let's see what we have. Please, universe, please, tarot, provide me with some insight and guidance for my Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio signs. What can you tell me about this first party? Please provide me with some insight into this first party. 3 cards for my first party. Please provide me with some insight. 3 cards for my first party. Ooh, that's intense. Please, tarot. Ooh. I don't even know which side you are on. You don't have to follow my storyline, so you can just pick whichever side resonates with you. Keep in mind there's also cross watchers, so it's difficult for me to know exactly where you are. But I do see the Queen of Cups over here on this for this first energy. That is usually a strong water energy, but doesn't have to be. Anyone can have water anywhere in their chart. So we have water energy, fire energy. We've got a little bit of everything here. Let me see what I'm getting, if you can give me just a minute to put the story together. I do see that one party feels like they are carrying a heavy burden. This could be even just the emotional burden or baggage from the relationship. They've had a difficult time. But I see that there was a sudden and unexpected change, like everything just kind of upheaval. And if that hasn't already happened, that may be a precursor. Sometimes these are a little bit predictive for things that can happen in the future. Both parties, there's like a major transformation here. I mean, we have the Death card. The Death card a lot of times is a really feared card, but for me, it's like out with the old, in with the new, transformation, renewal, rebirth. it's bringing on revitalizing new energy after something that was really difficult. When we have the Ten of Wands here, the Death card and the Queen of Cups, I feel like somebody was highly emotional and, intuitive in this connection, possibly you, but I have also the High Priestess on this side. So again, it looks like both parties have a little bit of intuition. Maybe it's just a really spiritual connection between the two of you, kind of that undescribable bond that you can't really put into words, and possibly even have a difficult time explaining to other people who just aren't getting it. But I do see that there was a strong spiritual connection here. I see that both people are going through some kind of a transformation, a rebirth, a renewal. One party is definitely feeling a little bit more burdened by this either connection or the separation. To me, what I'm just feeling is like emotional baggage. I'm not even feeling like it's like the financial aspect of it. Like if you were married and you got divorced and one person's stuck with the kids, the majority of the time, or the majority of the responsibility, not stuck with the kids, but the majority of the responsibility is being placed on one person. But to me in this reading, what I'm feeling is like this was really heavy. This was really heavy and an uphill climb emotionally. There was some battle wounds here. Somebody's really having a hard time. It's like an uphill climb for them to release the emotional baggage that came with this connection. I mean, it felt like a death to this first party over here. That somebody was just they felt like I was so emotionally available to you. I was so giving. I was so kind. I was so available, whether this is you or them. Somebody here just really put their all into this. They were very emotional, very connected to this, really offered a lot in that sense to the other party. And I feel like whatever happened here or is happening with this connection, it just kind of like, it almost started to bring on this bitterness or this resentment for this first party. And I think they just felt like this, like it was almost a death to this person. This, whatever happened in this connection, whether there was some kind of a betrayal or the connection ended or whatever happened here, or you just felt like that other person just disconnected from you emotionally and you were still very much emotionally available, or vice versa. Whoever that energy is on this side, I mean, it was really difficult for them. But this is all happening for a purpose. And I do see that it's an uphill climb, but there will be a release of this emotional baggage. Somebody is still, what I'm feeling currently, feeling like releasing this connection, releasing this hurt. They really felt just depleted, just dead at the end of this, or whatever is going on here. It's just kind of exhausted this person. But this will be a renewal, but there is a process to release the emotional baggage and the damage that came from any hurt or disconnect in this connection. So that's a lot of information for this one side, but let's move over here to the second energy. I feel like this second energy, I feel like there was or there will be a tower moment, obviously with the tower present. I know it's like, thanks for the obvious, Jen. But no, I do feel like there is some kind of a destruction, whether this is breaking down old ways of thinking, breaking down unhealthy habits, or this is like an actual devastation or, crumbling of the foundation of this relationship. There's some kind of upheaval. This could even be something in their life just falls apart unexpectedly. And that brings them into a place of like transformation and renewal. Somebody here is on this other side is definitely trying to find some balance here. It's like they're coming into their own. They're trying to understand, they're trying to recuperate from whatever came crumbling down. So there was something abrupt that happened in this person's life, whether it was in your relationship or just in their life. there was some abrupt upheaval, some change, something unexpected. This relationship may have unexpectedly ended or crumbled. There may have been infidelity. I'm not seeing anything here for infidelity, but I do see that I just feel this is a very deep connection, and both parties felt very spiritually connected to each other. Both parties are having a major, this is definitely a soulmate connection. There was major transformation for both parties because of this connection. I almost feel like the purpose of the two of you coming together was to heighten somebody's intuition, somebody's spirituality, to help renew, to help break down somebody's walls, old ways of thinking, kind of destroy things that were unhealthy out of this person's life and bring them into this renewed, beautiful, spiritual connection with themselves. I feel the other party one party is having a little bit of an easier time with this, but I feel like that's because they're caving, they're giving in to the transformation that this connection was supposed to bring. Because you see, the universe gives us lessons, and people don't understand that just like seasons, you know, things are meant to change. Things are meant to come and go. We have beautiful memories in the summertime, you know, with our family and friends or whatever. And then that season comes and goes, and, you know, and all the leaves fall off the trees and everything changes. And then we go through a whole different season. Then we make new memories, and then things renew and come back around like the Wheel of Fortune. It's just constant change. And I think people cling to these connections. They think when we have these strong, powerful, spiritual, loving connections to people that this just has to be forever. And they really get desperate and scared of letting go or feeling like they're not going to find that again. And that's not really how all of these connections are meant to be. Things that really inspire a lot of passion in us, really bring up a lot of emotion, that puts us in a mindset where we're able and capable to learn, to feel, to really grasp something new and come out of this stronger. These connections are fated. They are meant to teach us something. They're not always meant to be forever. Sometimes they're seasons, you know, they're not a forever energy in our life. And sometimes we don't want to let go of that. Somebody here is having a difficult time accepting their transformation. It's like they're being haunted by the ghost of the other person, the ghost of the connection, what was. Even if you're still together and you're just disconnected and things have fallen apart, and you're just really having a hard time accepting that and moving forward into, you know, a renewed connection with this person the way things are now, or just letting go in general and moving forward into a new connection. Somebody here, I feel like, feels a little bit haunted and is struggling with the change and is carrying a lot of emotional baggage, and it's been an uphill battle. May or may not be you. You know, obviously, who, if this story is resonating with you. Other person, everything kind of crashed and burned. We broke down some old ways of thinking. This person had to go through kind of a tower moment, or will be in the near future. And it brings about transformation, renewal, and kind of an understanding there's a need for balance, to be grounded, to balance our emotions with our logic type of thing, to come into our most powerful, spiritual, intuitive, to connect to our higher self, to really, one person is accepting this transformation and the growth that comes along with it. I'm not saying it's easy. There's nothing easy about the tower moment. It's upheaval. It's actually pretty intense. But because of that, they're reaching their fullest potential. The other person, I think, is getting there, but it's just taking a little bit more time. They really were... It's like they had to go through a full rebirth, like old habits, old ways of thinking, everything. It was like a death, like I said. So I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, just making sure that I'm getting these messages clearly. Let me pull some additional information. Please give me some additional information on this first party. Please, Tarot, what can you tell me for Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio? Cycles. You see what I mean? It's like I said, it's everything comes in cycles. There's some people are meant to come and go. Some people are meant to stay. Some people are meant to be in our life for a brief period of time, accept and learn the lessons from that, go off on their own, apply those lessons, have a rebirth, and reconnections can be possible. But this is just kind of a reminder, and I'm going to read a little bit from the book, if I can find where I put it. Oh, right there. About this card, but this is a reminder that everything comes in cycles. So if you're down right now, you will be up. It's funny that I said the Wheel of Fortune, and this card just kind of reminds me, this isn't tarot, it's an oracle deck, but that's what it reminds me of. It's just, oop, there we go. Complicated. Let's pull some surrender cards. But so far, I am seeing that this connection was intended. Those cards are just flying out everywhere before I even get a chance to shuffle them. So I don't know what's going on with you. But yeah, and my Queen of Cups, she's just this beautiful, stable, nurturing, loving, giving energy. But in my deck, and I just can't always help but notice, it's like, look at the expression on her face. To me, it's almost like she looks resentful or unsatisfied, unhappy. And then she goes through this period of like, and you just see it, it's like, it's just over. I can't do this anymore. It's like this connection just took everything out of her, or the ending of this connection. It was just like who I am, this beautiful energy I am, whatever happened here, it put me in this like hurt, resentful, feeling rejected or whatever type of energy. But what you don't see, it's almost like she's being haunted here by the past, by this connection. Is all these beautiful butterflies. It's like the universe is calling for you to get back up, to accept this as a transformation, to accept this as a cycle of something that needed to come into your life to help you with your highest potential. This may be them. It doesn't have to be you. Again, just go with which side resonates. And then we have the Ten of Wands, which is completion, but it's also burden. I mean, look, it's just this uphill climb, and he's just carrying all of that baggage along with him. And that's what I feel is happening here, is like this is an advice from the universe to remember that everything goes in cycles. Not everything's meant to stay with you forever. Release the things that aren't serving you. Release the things that aren't helping you, that aren't good for your highest potential. Release any guilt or hurt or anger or frustration or toxic habits that may have contributed to this connection struggling or falling apart, whether those are addictions or pride or this is like, remember to have heart over ego. Don't carry things with you that are heavy, that are holding you back, that are making it difficult for you to elevate yourself, for them or for you. The other side, I do see, this is a reminder to follow your intuition, to listen to yourself. The situation may be more complicated than what you can see on the surface level. This is kind of one of those things where it's like, there's not a specific answer for you right now. Like this, to me, there may be some of you out there that have psychic abilities, gifts, things of that nature. And this is like, something about this connection sparked those abilities in you, and it was meant to kind of help bring balance to you and release blockages that you had and just kind of bring you into your full power. I mean, you see the butterflies there as well. It's just this transformation. She's just so powerful and strong and calm in her energy. So if this isn't already happening on both sides, this is what needs to happen. I think both parties need to accept that this isn't a simple thing. This was a very complex, deep-rooted, complicated connection that was meant to bring about major transformation in both parties. Release the baggage of any past hurts, resentments, would have, should have, could have. Just let it go. allow the universe to cycle around and bring things in and remove things, right? Like we just want it to come in and cycle out the things that are no longer serving us and bring in the things that are meant for us. And we don't want to fight that. We don't want to fight with the universe. You will lose. And the universe, if you don't allow the change to happen naturally, or you fight against it, because it's hard. It's hard to release those connections, even when they've kind of already served their purpose and come and gone. It'll remove it for you. It'll come in and tear things apart. So you do kind of want to follow your intuition with that. You do want to accept the growth, because the cycles will repeat themselves. So every connection is meant to teach us something, to help us reach our fullest potential, to help us have some spiritual growth and it's like soul food. Even the negative stuff, it's meant to strengthen us, to teach us something. And so if we don't learn the lessons and we're so focused on what that person's doing, or that if they're leaving, or how they feel about us, and we're just desperately trying to grasp at the surface level things, and we're not looking at the messages the universe is trying to send us here, the lessons that they're trying to teach us, if we're not allowing those lessons to reach us, and we're not growing from the connections that we have, the universe will just keep cycling things back around until you learn, right? So some of you may be in the situation going, you might be cycling in and out with the same person and just getting to the same place and reaching the same rut. You may be in a situation now and you're like, hey, I had a relationship like this in the past. I feel like this has happened to me before, or why do these same things keep happening to me? Or you might be in a rut in your current connection and relationship where you're like, hey, why are we here again? Why are we still fighting about the same things? Why are we not progressing? And that's all because there's a blockage. This is a complicated situation. There is a blockage here because this connection is really meant for some substantial growth in both of you, for like a spiritual awakening, I'm almost getting. And if you're not accepting that and you're not learning that, it's just going to keep cycling back around until you figure it out. And you're never going to be able to move forward either way, together or apart. You've got to learn those lessons. You've got to accept this rebirth. You've got to accept the universe is calling you to get back up, to accept the transformation, to release the emotional baggage, or to find balance, to balance out your emotions and your intellect, to accept that you are a very highly intuitive, strong, powerful individual, and come into your full power there. That's what I'm getting, whichever side is you. Cycle surrender to rest and sleep. To prevent burnout, slow down, honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. Rejuvenate. It's like this person is carrying a dark energy, a dark spirit from this. Rest and sleep so you can rejuvenate, so you can come back, get back up, release these emotional burdens that you're carrying, this excessive, worry about this situation for you or for them. Accept that everything comes in cycles, and accept the cycle that you're in and that the universe has chosen that for you, and allow yourself to get some rest and sleep and really meditate and contemplate on the lessons that are meant to be learned here. I do see that there's love. I see that there was love. I see that this connection was most certainly not in vain, whatever the two of you went through. And this also, every time I see this card, it's like what you give out into the universe, it brings right back to you. What you're thinking, what you're saying, how you're feeling, how you're acting, whatever you're putting out from you, your energy radiating into the universe, it's literally like a boomerang. So if you're putting out frustration, anger, hatred, disappointment, it's going to bring that right back to you. If you're hoping that they're miserable and missing you and you don't want them to move on and be happy or whatever, if you're struggling or you're resentful towards them, if you're still in a connection, and you're just giving that energy right back to yourself. It's like putting a curse on yourself. Whereas if you're sending out love and forgiveness and acceptance, and learning and growth, and you're staying true to your intuition, and you're taking on this beautiful, powerful, calm, stable energy, you're going to bring that right back to yourself. So there is a transformation happening here. There was a tower moment. There was, or there will be, something really abrupt, a big change. The universe is going to come in, or has come in and forced change, you know, for this connection. And that's it's up to you now to decide how you're going to accept that change and put it out into the universe, and what you're going to bring back to yourself. But this is complicated. It's going to take a little bit of time. This isn't something that can be fixed or figured out overnight. For those of you that this is strictly positive, this connection may have, you know, come into your life or their life to help inspire change and death of the old and release of old emotional baggage, and to help that person get the rest and rejuvenation that they need. This may have been, you know, an inspiration, like I said, for psychic abilities, or just really strong, stable energy. This energy here, and I say energy because I don't want to do the he, she thing, because then people get all caught up on the sexes of the cards, when really we all have masculine and feminine energy, so it doesn't matter what the sexes are on the cards. But what I'm seeing, this is somebody who's so spiritual and so connected to, it's like the veil between this reality here and the other world, right? And this person is connected to that. This person has that power and ability. That's, I think, what makes this so complicated. And I think this person has a deeper purpose and meaning here. And I think that whatever happened in this connection inspired that, brought about a tower moment, broke down walls and blockages. I think there's a lot of positivity here. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. My goodness, you guys, could this tie in any more perfectly? And also, you see the fall leaves here, like we just talked about, seasons, cycles, outdated beliefs. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life, which does not look like she's just about, look, it's like she's about to take flight and soar into her life, own her power, step into your power. Just like I said, outdated beliefs about yourself, breaking down blockages. You see that? Breaking down the things that are no longer serving you, just crumbling that whole outdated foundation that's not for your highest purpose. Yeah. Letting go of limiting ideas, because whatever we're putting out there, I'm never going to find love again. I'm hurt. I mean, whatever it is, any limiting ideas, I'm not capable, this, that, the other, it's just coming back around to you. We have to be very careful how we're speaking to ourselves, especially when we're kind of in frustration, or things are a little bit difficult in our connections with others. It can really take a toll on your self-esteem and be very overwhelming. So both parties' energy here, you can go where it resonates, but this was a little bit more of a complicated situation for this energy. Just to recap, this person needs to surrender outdated, beliefs about themselves, break down those walls, break down the things that are unhealthy, that are no longer serving, build a new foundation, a balanced foundation. We see here equally pouring out the cups, and cups to me in tarot especially represent emotion, equally pouring out the cups into the water, the emotion, and onto the ground. Grounded, stable energy, balanced, peaceful, inner peace, right? Bringing you into your full power, connecting you to your higher self, your stability. And then on the other side, we have releasing the emotional baggage, accepting that things come in cycles, surrendering to rest and sleep and rejuvenating, but recognizing you're not dead. This is don't quit, rest. No matter how overwhelming this has been, or how much you gave to this connection, what is strong, stable, beautiful energy you or they, again, go with what resonates, we're offering. It may have created some distress, some hurt, some frustration, some confusion about what was going on the other side. But what was going on the other side was a major spiritual transformation, a breakdown of outdated beliefs. This person is or has or needs to go through this type of transformation. And sometimes people's journeys don't include us. And I don't care if you're soulmates, and I don't care if you're connected, and I don't care what you went through. Sometimes people have to journey out on their own. We're still all unique individuals with our own unique needs and lessons to learn in this life. And a lot of times the connections that we have with others really inspire us to reach a better part of ourselves, to see ourselves a different way, to connect to ourselves in a different way, to really inspire that emotion and that soulfulness that we need. But it doesn't always mean that these journeys are meant to be taken together. Sometimes we need some time, even if we're, physically still together and our partner seems distant or like they're going through some things. It's really important to be a nice, silent support system to them, but to allow them to go through what they need to go through, and just accept that sometimes when things seem dead, right? Or they just seem like they're not moving forward, don't always don't stay up and obsess over that and lose sleep over that. Don't carry around a bunch of emotional burdens and stress. Remember, this is a cycle. Things are going in a cycle. What goes around comes around. We see that in both sides here. There's such similar energy. I don't know if you two were just really similar in your ways of thinking, or if your connection was just so intertwined, like a twin flame type of a thing is kind of what I'm feeling here. But everything goes in cycles. What we're sending out is going to cycle back around. Just because something feels dead right now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what's happening. Butterflies, all of this on both sides, you see it's almost like this transformation. So allow things to transform, allow things to cycle through, allow the universe to remove and bring in things that are meant for you. Don't fight against it. Rest, have some trust, have some faith, let go of outdated beliefs about yourself, allow things, the seasons to come and go, and appreciate what they're here to teach us. And things will start to flow a little bit more smoothly for your connection, whether you guys are reconnecting or whether you're in separation. But I do feel a major transformation, and I do feel both parties need to focus in on that and really accept what this was trying to teach you, because the potential here is incredible once you do that. So thank you so much. I am sorry I was rambling, that got a little long, or if it was repetitive. I kind of get all caught up in the energy and what I'm feeling. So thanks for bearing with me. I hope this was helpful. Again, if you'd like a private reading, you can find everything in the description box. I hope you're having wonderful holidays, and I see you here again soon. Love and light.